Professor Mahesh Matpati, working as an assistant professor and as a coordinator of this workshop in Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur. So I take an opportunity to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar Sembal. He is working as assistant professor at NIT Bhopal since February 2019. Before joining NIT Bhopal, he was working at NIT Rourkela. He has also worked with IIT Dharwad as assistant professor for 2 years, that is 2016 to 2018. And he has also worked as assistant professor at NIT Jamshedpur. He has earned his doctorate degree in robotics from IIT Allahabad in the year 2017 and MTech in information technology from IIT Allahabad in the year 2010 and BTech in IT from College of Engineering, Roorkee, 2008. His areas of research are bipedal robotics, gate analysis and synthesis, artificial intelligence, machine learning for tiny application, IoT, deep learning, and theoretical computer science. He has published more than 15 SCI research papers. He has received Early Career Research Award by DST SCRB under Government of India. His research areas are algorithm perspective of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and bipedal robotics. He has delivered more than 35 expert talks. Currently, he is working on human health monitoring using gait pattern, human activities recognition using TinyML, reconstruction of occluded and impaired gait it is. So this is a brief introduction of today's speaker. I welcome you, sir, for this day 3 second session. And I welcome all the participants on behalf of Department of Electronics and Telecommunication, Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur. Now over to Bhaskar, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for providing opportunity and for. So today, as topic of my talk is, sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Audible, and my screen is also visible. Okay, so the topic of wearable sensor-based human health monitoring using gait and post-recovery analysis. The things that I will discuss here somewhat IoT concepts, how human health monitoring can be done by the walking pattern. The gait which I am referring here is human walking pattern, GIT gait. So human walking pattern is very unique, and many times gait is also as a physical parameter to verify the health of human being. It is also using biometric identification like your face recognition, your palm, iris, and all sort of things. Gait is also very unique, and it's a behavior-based biometric identification. And in robotics, we are widely using for the robot walk generation, so that robot can walk very similar to human being. We are also using in the prosthetic leg development, where we are designing the artificial limbs so that human being with the disability can walk. Okay, and another behavior is push recovery. Push recovery is the behavior in which I am applying some force on human being able to recover from the external force. So based on these factors, we'll try to analyze the human health as a IoT application with using some wearable sensor. I've used one wearable, another is Kinect sensor, which is computer vision based. It is from far distance. Both I will explore here, how you can capture the data and how you can design the model for health monitoring. Second thing, we will also see that how feasible it is to monitor the health of human being. Okay. So IoT, all are aware of IoT and cyber physical system, Internet of Things and cyber physical system. So maybe I will give you cyber physical system later on, once I will establish my problem statement and discussion or talk. IoT is something device which is continuously connecting with the internet, doing some computation on internet, and final some analysis it is showing. So device which is sensing through environment. So for sensing, we have sensor, whether it is pressure sensor, wearable sensors, potentiometer, accelerometer, IMO sensor I will discuss. And the potential application, these wearable sensor is helping us to track the human being. And when we are moving in some Yes. When we are moving in certain environment, that time also we can recover from the external forces. 1 minute. Sorry. So IoT means something we are sensing through internet. Alone sensor is not helping us to design the IoT. Something we are doing on internet. Okay, some analysis part is required. Till internet is not involved, computation is not involved, we are not sending. Like in nowadays in our home, smart appliances are there, smart boards are there, which is also informing us about the electricity consumption entire day. Morning time, how much electricity we are consuming, daytime, evening time, in the night when all are sleeping, how much electricity is. So all devices are interconnected. Sensor is sensing how much electricity they are consuming, and then finally they are providing some analysis kind of things. Then only IoT will be there. Just alone sensor connecting with internet is not there till there is no some performance analysis, so some things are there. Okay, so there are different devices like smart alarm clocks, smart plug nowadays, how many electricity is required. Now, like I'm using Arduino Nano 33 BLE sensor, which I have already available. I will show you, by which I collected data of human walking. So it is only taking 3.3 volt, and generally my laptop is giving 500, so we require converter also. Just for namesake definition, I am telling, will not go in much depth of Internet of Things. We'll directly come on the discussion how I capture the data, how it is helping us to monitor the human health. So something, it is networking of physical objects, that means devices like mobile phone or anything. Mobile phone enabled with the sensor. So object is enabled with the physical object is enabled with the sense. And there contain electronics embedded. And there is two things we have to consider. One is embedded device. Like that, once we have program, we cannot upgrade these things like washing machine and all sort of things. They are predefined softwares are there, they are working. We cannot update like robot. In robot, what we are doing, we are keep updating. It is reprogrammable machine robot. But embedded device, once we have program, we have used, that we cannot do changes. Okay, they are conjugating, they are sensing through environment, communicating and taking some decision. That is what IoT is happening. There are some other definition of IoT, so I'm not going in IoT application. Just I'm saying that in which application domain IoT is currently leading. Okay, and that was my motivation also to go for healthcare monitoring system. So if you see manufacturing on industrial basis, almost 40% of things is enabled by nowadays IoT appliance, like smart manipulator kind of things, which also had computer vision based techniques as well as sensor based techniques. Healthcare, 30% of things are happening with the healthcare domain with the IoT application. So my focus on healthcare, where I will explore how human walking and post recovery, that means capability to recover from external force, will help us to monitor the human health, whether anything is going to degrade or you are going to suffer in near future. So we can predict at early stage, we can stop. Like some diseases also we can identify early. Security, we are using only 7%, and retail sector like big malls, shopping mall, where we are enabling IoT device, that is 8% of market share it is showing. This is worldwide. These are the modern application of IoTs like smart grid, smart cities, where we have smart power consumption device, smart health monitoring, smart vehicle are there. Nowadays, connected car technology is there, in which everything is connected with the internet. You can monitor your pressure from sitting at room. Anyone is going to be, you can also monitor if any unwanted things is happening near to your car, how much pressure in the tire, what is the current situation of fuel, all sort of things you can remotely monitor. Healthcare, earthquake detection, these are a small application, smartphone also helping us. Okay, again I'm not going in this discussion, Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, just for namesake, and then I will try to formulate my problem with the human health monitoring using gates. So like you see that different sensor, and you are interacting with the sensor environment. We are sensing through environment. So you have like ECG signal to record the brain signal. So we have neuroscribe, and we have 64 or sorry, 16 electrodes, 16 channel ECG machine we have. We can have motion sensor, which I will discuss. How you can capture the motion. You have force plate also. Okay, motion sensors are there. So all sensors sensing our activities, they are sending on some smart device, some computation device, whether it is mobile phone or computer or laptop. Wirelessly, they are sending through Bluetooth or any other medium. They are sending, or Wi-Fi mode. And finally, on internet, we are performing some computation. Suppose I need to record your health condition or this one. So I just use motion sensor on your human body. So now the tracksuit is coming, in which you can place the marker on body, or either you can place some wearable, very handy device which you can wear, and it will continuously monitoring your motion and will see the pattern of your motion, whether it is healthy person or unhealthy kind of situation. It is going on through the smart devices, mobile phone, on internet, cloud is processing. Either it is related to healthcare, so there is telemedicine operation is also there, where you can consult from the doctor remotely can send. Suppose you are at location Maharashtra and the doctor is sitting in the AIIMS Delhi, so through internet he can see our report. Or that's why to take some decision, doctor requires some analysis kind of things. So device which is sending data on cloud is self processing, and then it is giving report. Nowadays your blood report is available to everywhere. With the particular key you can access your report and all sort of things, and they can suggest you some medicine and so. So how people nowadays, how you are connected with the internet. Okay, even though if you have mobile phone, you are connected with internet. So certain vulnerability is there. You will find some security labs also there, and these are the smart connections of the internet. You can see that smart car are there connected, smart petrol pumps. Okay, many times we are finding some problems. Okay, we are lacking with the how far petrol pump is there. This information also we can get easily through internet. Okay, they are finding the nearest petrol pump, they are suggesting. So IoT device, already this talk is related to sensor and actuator, and yesterday enough discussion has done on sensor and actuator. So I'm not going, I'm just using a sensor. So sensor is sensing, actuator what we are performing. Both are happening in the environment only. And with the combination of sensor and actuator, you will be able to design this cyber physical system. CPS, cyber physical. Okay, so what is this is real world? Sensor is sensing, like we human being has our eyes, our touch screen or touch sense, or sensory organs we have by which we used to sense the data, and we used to process in human brain. Very high level of controller in human brain. And suppose there is fire, I am putting my hand on the fire. What is happening? My fingertip and touch sensor is sensing. It is sending the signal in brain, and the brain is, because brain is already learned this behavior, fire is going to burn this one. So immediately you will remove your hand with the help of actuator. So your motor action is enabling. Okay, so these are the behavior kind of things, reflexive behavior. Suppose I am throwing ball over you. What will you will try to save yourself. How it is happening? Those we have we have never given you training like this. You have to behave like this. But it is automatical, some behavior is happening which you used to use, reflexive behavior. So if I am throwing ball to you, so you will assume that it will hit you, you will try to save yourself. So first, when your eye has sensed some ball is coming toward me, brain has processed, and it has activate your motor action or muscles, and actually muscle has worked on behalf of the sensor, and you have shifted yourself, you have removed your hand. So this way how entire cyber physical system is working. Cyber physical system I will discuss later on, and you will understand the difference between IoT and cyber physical system also. So the basic difference is there, sensor and actuator. Sensor is sensing, actuator is your muscles which is activating on behalf of this one. Okay. So transducer has divided two parts into sensor and actuator. Sensor detect or measure or any signal, any stimulus or EEG signal or any gesture you are acquiring through this one, okay, whether real world information you are acquiring. And actuator actually the generating signals so that I can take desired action to convert desire. So transducer convert a primary form of energy into signal with a different energy form. So energy could be mechanical, thermal, electrical, optical, and chemical energy. Okay. So these are the different sensors available. Some are listed here, like acoustic sensor, wave, amplitude, phase, polarization. Okay. Biological and chemical fluid concentration, gas and liquid, electrical sensors, magnetical sensor, optical, thermal, and mechanical. You can see this mechanical, you have position, velocity, accelerometer, and I am going to discuss with this one, position, velocity, accelerometer, force, because in robotics we are using torque, pressure sensor system. So I will discuss with this one. I will discuss about IMU sensor, inertia measurement unit sensor, which have accelerometer, which have gyroscope, which have magnetometer. Accelerometer is basically calculating the acceleration around XY axis. And afternoon, when I will discuss about human activity recognition using wearable device, that I will discuss this topic. What is accelerometer? How it is kept? So some sensor already there: temperature sensor, accelerometer, and light sensor. So accelerometer is our interest of region in which we'll work today. Okay, so temperature sensor can be measured through the pressure, volume, electrical resistance, and instant. Okay, application where we can apply these sensors, like buildings, chemical process plant, how much heat is producing, is it peak time, all sort of things, how much fire is required to burn particular chemical, all sort of things you can do through this one. Accelerometer, it is happening like vibration, blast, impact of the shock wave on airbag. When your car is going to collide, that time airbag is opening, that time also we are using accelerometer. Washing machine, heart monitoring, your health monitoring also we can do by the accelerometer, because accelerometer will actually record your walking motion. Okay. These are other sort of sensors which we are not going to deal, but ultrasonic sensors, photo gates, and this I'm not going to this. And the device which is connecting this sensor, these are, you can consider mini computer, microcontroller, which is nowadays the sensor which I'm using, Arduino Nano BLE33. So Nano is small form factor, BLE is the Bluetooth enable, and it is enabled with the 9 sensor. Okay, so the Arduino board is coming with the 9 sensor also. So what is happening, you don't need to purchase separately sensor. Earlier what we used to do, first we used to purchase sensor, we used to integrate with Arduino board so that we can program sensor, and then finally we used to work. But nowadays microcontroller enable with the sensor itself. You can use at a data acquisition device and data processing also. You can first sense the data, and after sensing data, you can devise as a embedded system. You can fuse certain code over there, deep learning code or whatever code, and it will track your activity. And I will teach you today how you can do human monitoring using Arduino Nano BLE33, how you are recording the data of human being. So we'll not go in depth. Communication sensor actuators. Okay. Things is smart object and there is non-smart object. Smart object like robot, your software program also is there. Microcontroller, Arduino boards. Non-smart object, that means they have only one capability, sensing. They don't have any computing capabilities. Smart one, they have computing capability. They have computer, mini computers. Okay. Smartphone, robot, and microcontroller. And obviously, once your data is in public domain, in the internet, so there is security threat and privacy. And these are the vulnerability available with this one. Anyone can see your physical data, your health record data, and it will create problem for you. They can give you an organization, you are not physically fit. Maybe you can lose the job also many times. Some problems because everything, once you are connected with the internet, all sort of data in the domain, and it is depend on the privacy of that particular organization or that particular vendor or company which is providing this one. Okay, that's why it is coming in the like nowadays blockchain concept. We can store the encrypted data, but many of the intruder are working which can decrypt these message also your data. Okay, so always it is security threats. Okay, so industry IoT application across industry, you can see that healthcare one domain, smart cities, manufacturing, energy and power domain, retail sector, education also, everywhere you are going, but our focus here is smart health monitoring using human walking and gait data. So I'm coming on this one directly. Now let us come health monitoring, IoT perspective, how you can connect. So you require body area network, BAN, body area network. Okay, so patient body area network, your body is enabled with certain sensor. We are placing sensor over you, wearable sensor. Okay, so for data acquisition, we require, if you are measuring your heartbeat or measuring your motion, that time we require sensor which can capture this data. After sensing data recording, we have to transmit this data because we require some computing power through Bluetooth or Zigbee or any wireless medium we are sending on some mobile phone or sub device. Finally, we are transmitting this data over cloud, and we are doing some algorithm already is there. They will process the data and they will give you some sort of analysis. Will take help of internet, and then finally you will have beautiful graphs, plot and things like you have given blood sample. Once blood sample is there, then they will record your what is your white blood count, red blood count, all sort of things, information they can represent with, whether it is within region or not. So it could be in tabular form or some graph and chart form. You can have analytical things. Then after that, doctor can visualize, and doctor are already expert of that domain. So they can see your report and they can give you suggestion. So this is how smart health monitoring happening through wearable devices. So wearable device could be your ECG machine, EMG machine, EEG machine. Okay, I'm using sensor by which I'm recording the human being data, and my focus is to monitor the human health using human walking at the gait pattern. So gait is the walking pattern. So I will refer most of the time gait. It is just walking pattern. So healthy person has different walking pattern, and gait has so much variety. You know, gait is the learning process like human being used to learn. Like human baby used to take almost 1 year to learn the walking. But once it is acquired, it has stored that pattern in brain, and then person will start walking. Okay. So gait or walking, the pattern of healthy and unhealthy person are totally different. There is certain pattern. So how you can measure the gait? So generally we have model-based approach and model-free approach. One approach in which we used to consider change the joint angle of left hip, left knee, left ankle, right ankle. We used to measure the angle of left hip, left knee, left ankle, and we used to calculate the human walking pattern. This is one mechanism which I am using by wearable. So we are placing the 6 sensor on the 6 body joints, which I will show in coming slide, and we are capturing. Okay. The question is coming that if you are wearing any wearable device, then ethical committee approval is there, whether it can damage your body or not. Maybe the wearing any unnecessary sensor can damage your body. This kind of challenge will come. Okay. So before diving in more about gait and posture stability, let us see that which kind of disease we can diagnose through this particular biometric identification. If you see the gait, ECG, respiratory rates, skin temperature, surface EMG, electromammogram signals, sweating, all sort of biometric marks are there by which you can measure the health. So if you consider the gait, first one, or posture, that means post recovery kind of thing, I can easily diagnose CVD, cardiovascular disease, heart-related disease, I can easily diagnose through gait. Chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, COPD also related to this, also we can diagnose through the gait. Then other things, Parkinson and the Huntington disease, it is like that walking disability. Those your sensory organ is perfect, like drunken person is there. I have drunken person data also. Eyes is okay, foot is okay, all sort of senses are working, but still the person will not able to walk stably. Stable walk he cannot perform, he or she, the drunken person. The thing that it is suffering with the certain neurological problems. Its neurons is going to affect with the drink. Only diabetes we cannot diagnose, but that is not our interest of things through gait. ECG you can almost record, but you cannot perfectly record the Parkinson disease. EMG sensor is basically recording your muscle contraction. It is electromammograms. So it is recording your how much pressure, or I have one artificial hand in which I am using EMG signal. So from one hand I am performing particular gesture, and then artificial hand also used to perform that gesture. That is enabling with the EMG, because it used to record the your muscles motion. Okay, so that you can do. So here I have shown you the importance of gait, how gait can help. Okay, now once we have recorded data, we have designed that device or wearable cloth which you can wear and we can record the data. Question is coming, how it can analyze or it can predict the whether person is suffering with some disease or not immediately. That means we require some training model. Already we have present the data. Based on patient data, we have designed some algorithm or some machine learning model. Okay, so what is happening? If you see that through environment, through sensor, I am recording the data and I am applying some, because I know that this is healthy person data, so I'm applying some machine learning algorithm like regression or classification. That is model I'm trying to design. Models to learn by the data. We require sufficient data. Once it is learned, then we are going for clinical testing, whether data is that model which I learn is correct or not. So clinical, like it has capability similar to doctor, as doctor used to diagnose the person by seeing the report. Without report, they also cannot say anything. Similarly, clinical. So we have to see whether our design model is clinically acceptable or it has similar capability like doctor. If it is there, then I will tell I have designed the model, and now what will happen now in the future, if any data will come and I need to classify whether person is healthy or unhealthy, whether person is suffering from cancer, it's earlier stage or later stage. So what is happening second stage, for new data it is coming, I'm sensing, already I have machine learning model. Okay, so it is going to classify, then clinically we are also verifying our data. Okay, so the records are already available. It is also verifying our model whether we have corrected or not. So this is how entire flow work is working. So it's an emerging area. IoT in healthcare is the emerging area. So we require the body area network sensors. Very minor sensors are coming. They are wirelessly enabled, communicating with the app and device. You can see that morning you are walking, that time you have mobile phone which is giving how many step count, how many energy you have, all sort of sensors in your mobile phone. Okay, you can download physics toolbar, accelerometer, you will get all accelerometer, gyroscope, magnetometer, pressure meter, all sort of sensors are there. Okay, the IoT device in healthcare are headset, they measure the brain waves. Cloth with the sensing devices. So you can design the tracksuit in which you can place the sensors. So it can, smart watches are there, BP monitor machines are there, glucose monitoring, ECG recorder. Okay, pulse oximeters is there. Oxygen, you can measure the oxygen amount also, how much it is available in your body. So any other wearable technologies coming in this domain and widely using IoT in healthcare. and it is enabling us a telehealth operation. Telehealth is that remotely the doctor is sitting on some far distance and we are taking help of this one. So there is further category like teleoperation or surgery, telemonitoring. Just we are getting monitored by certain doctor from far distance, telemedicine or consultation. So this is also emerging area which very soon enable, because India is suffering with the problem of number of good expert doctor. In this case, telehealth monitoring or consultation can help us to deal with this one. So now I'm showing some device which is available with me in my lab. So this is ECG recorder, EG recorder. It has placed on human body that 24 electrode are there, because there is a different portion of human brain. So it is recording your day-to-day activity. I'm looking for hourly activities, morning, afternoon, and daytime. I'm seeing the behavior, how it is going to help. Second thing, I'm using EMG machine, in which we are placing the sensor of human body, and we are trying to analyze the motion of muscles, okay, how they are actuating. This is the EEG device which is helping us to record. So there is almost 6 or 7 channels by which I can record different sensors, different lobe of the human brain. That is what I use for the human data collection. I use mobile phone also, wearable device, yes, I place. So center of mass stability I used to calculate for during walk. And even I have used this IMO sensor, inertia measurement UV sensor. Wirelessly it is sensing. I am placing on hip knee. So you have 6 joints. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 6 joints we have. We are capturing the data of all 6 joints. Okay. So you require 6 IMU sensor, inertia measurement sensor, which is enabled with the accelerometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer. So this way we have captured the human being data for different activity or different walk. Okay, we have used also different speed also. In treadmill also I have captured the data of the different speed through the kinect sensor. So first case is that wearable device body has to wear on the human body. These sensors has to wear on the human body. Another case, what I'm doing from this kinect sensor, I'm monitoring. There is kinect sensor, okay, by which I'm monitoring the person. Here also I'm trying to record joint angle. Okay, how it will record, I will show the demonstration of this one. Okay, so you can perform different speed, 3 kilometer, 5 kilometer, 7 kilometer. That data I can record with the interface. I can go for different activity, walking, slow walking, fast walking, running, sitting, laying, jumping, squat, all sort of things. And sports, to improve the performance of sport person, widely people are using this technique for see the performance of human being or sports person. So it is helping for 2 activities. One is human activity recognition, that is separate topic which I will discuss in afternoon session. What is that human activity recognition? And another is human health monitoring using gait analysis. Gait is human walking pattern. So I consider flat terrain in the constant environment inside laboratory. I've also considered outside campus where the very rugged surface is there. Surface is not easy and the person is walking. Later on, what I'm doing, I'm trying to design the shoe, particular shoe, wearable shoe, in which I will place these IMU sensor or pressure sensor, so that it could be very sophisticated. It will be very helpful for you to walking. It can increase your performance. Okay. So capturing of human gait data, human walking data is helping us to identify your posture, your activities, your health. I can monitor your biometric. By seeing your walking pattern, I can identify you. It is not necessary to see your face. Many times face we can cover, but walking we cannot. Walk and suffer with the cloth. Many people are wearing long cloth, burqa and other things. That time it is difficult. But our elbow should be such a robust, it should not be affected by the cloth, view angle from which direction we are seeing. And third one is speed. Okay, so the wearable device is there. So 3 potential application we can utilize. One is for healthcare monitoring, another for biometric identification, third one is the development of artificial limb artificial leg we can design with the human being data, which is very similar to, because we require pattern of all hip, knee, and ankle. So I'm considering the 3 joints: hip joints, knee joint, and ankle joints. Okay. So for different, almost 25 to 35 subjects, we have collected it, and we found very interesting results also in gait as well as posture recovery. We found that if you are left-handed person, your right foot is coming front first. If you are right-handed person, your left foot is coming front. Male and female has different capabilities. Okay. So gait is very highly variable things. It is like behavior-based biometric identification. It depends on your walking style, how much step length you are taking, how much ground clearance is there, how much you are raising your foot particularly. So based on this one, we can capture the data. Okay. This is for different speed, so that I can monitor the health of human being. And I will show the demo. No problem is there, because I recorded some video with this one, by which I am acquiring the data. So different subject I have considered, different working environment, many times constant in my inside laboratory also. So these are with the all wearable device. The wearable device is IMU sensor. Only 200 rupees cost is there. You can easily say wirelessly we are recording data on my laptop, and then I'm trying to design my deep learning or machine learning algorithm to classify the gait, walking pattern, or speed. Okay, another wearable things in which I've used this IMU, these electromammogram, okay, EMG sensors, in which I place this. You can see that this is the gloves in which I have applied these line kind of sensor, and I'm trying to record your hand movement, finger movement especially, and then I'm rotating this artificial hand fingers based on this one. Whatever action you will perform, it is connected through Arduino board. This is wire. Now I have wireless also. It is in my laboratory that I purchased on the project which I got from the DST, Department of Science and Government of India, in which I recorded this data, okay, through these sensors, EMG sensor. Especially we are recording your muscles activities, and then we are trying to apply on some other model. Okay. This which I will discuss today to record the human walking data, and this one. So this is the sensor Arduino Nano 33BLE. I will give more description later on. So far you just assume this is a small computation device, microcontroller, which having certain sensors. IMU sensors are there, 9-degree IMU sensor accelerometer. These are the sensors available this one. And wirelessly it is sensing and sending data also. Later on I fuse whatever my model I designed, deep learning or machine learning, for classification of it. Same model I fuse here, and the person can wear, and I can record his or her trajectory. The another interesting application is the indoor environment, where firefighter, policeman is going. If certain mall, it is 10-story building or something, fire has outbreak. In this case, what will happen? Firefighter will go. How we can track the location inside, because there is no GPS or anything. So we can. So what we'll do? We'll provide a certain source which can help them. I can show one demonstration. Maybe the video is available. You can see if my screen. So IC Bangalore also, they are doing like pedestrian walking is there. The person is walking. I'm recording this position where he is inside the room. Okay, the person is walking. Better you can see this video. This data you can see. This is 3D foot tracking using IMU sensor, and same sensor I've used, inertia measurement sensor. And if you can see me, I can show that Arduino BLE sensor. This is the IMU sensor. Whatever activity you are performing, it is moving. Okay. Here maybe you are purchased, like it is giving 9 axis, AX, AY, AZ. So it has placed on the left. 3 axis it is giving X, Y, Z. If you can see in my hand, I'm going to show you. This is Arduino Uno BLE sensor. Okay, it is enabled with the 6-degree IMU sensor. So IMU sensor, you have whatever rotation you will do, it will show that acceleration around X, Y, Z axis, rotation around. So accelerometer is giving you acceleration around X, Y, Z axis. We used to record in G-force, meter per second square. Similarly, you can have rotation. In 1 second, how many rotation is happening. But it depends on gravitational force also, accelerometer. And there is many times 3-degree magnetometer is also coming with the IMU board, which is helping us to record again position only. So widely people are using IMU sensor for recording the position. So if you see that this data, this video, you can see. Okay, so firefighter or any police person which is going for safety of person for noble cause, many times they are getting trapped inside fire and we are unable to find their location and they are dying. Or the person is walking inside the mine, harmful gases are coming. So that how we'll track where is it is not coming. So this is IMU sensor, easily you can take. So these are very low computing devices, require very less energy. The challenge will come, how will fuse the code over this one. Okay, it is just sensing. Here it is just working as data transmitter. It is sensing the data transmitter. You see that the location of person. So it is showing, it is, if you are climbing over a staircase, it will move also. Staircase, you can see that. Walking up a staircase, now you can see. We are climbing on a staircase. So you can get also in which floor you are, what is your spatial coordinate, X, Y, Z. It is recording and sensing. Okay. This is 6-degree accelerometer they have used, like you have climbed over. So all trajectory from starting portion where you have reached right now. Okay. So one potential application I have shown you about this one. So this sensor I am using, that I will discuss later on because I have used for human activity recognition this one. Okay. So in between, let us understand how it is related to cyber physical system and what are the different methods by which we can capture the data also. So in cyber physical system, you have 2 terms. One is physical system, which is like sensor and actuator. Another you have cyber system in which internet is there, computing resources there. Okay. So you have physical system environment. Okay. So there is computing agents which is sensing and sending on the network, and then it is going on the CPU, central processing unit, or wherever you are doing cloud storage is there. Okay. And then it is giving output also HMI port, human machine interface. And once it is processed, then it is sending signal back in form of actuator. Again, it is working in environment. So this is physical system, actuator and sensor, and there is cyber systems. Okay. So the combination of this one is considered cyber. If you have to justify a particular device, whether it is cyber physical system, CPS, that time you have to see that whether it is involving physical part, it is involving the cyber part or not. This way you can do. So how you can record human being data using wearable? I already shown you the demonstration using IMU board. Okay, IMU sensor in which we have placed the IMU on human body, whether it is on the foot or shoe, anywhere you can put. After that, I need to understand the biomechanical analysis. So we require some simulated, like OpenSim model is there, which is provided by Stanford, in which we try to analyze. Okay, so we have software. This is Visual 3D software. So human skeleton is given, and there are marker are placed. Marker is helping us to identify the joints. Okay. So it is also helping us to see the how much desired force we are applying. Dynamics also we are understanding, not only a kinematics, only not interested for link length, we are interested for the force also. See, as I was showing in my previous case, IMU sensor I place on 6 joints, 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, I have used separate IMU sensor. Okay, in case of front or back, so the position 1, 2, 3, 4 is showing that where I place the IMU sensor. You can place it here also to record your center of mass trajectory. This is for ankle, sorry, knee, and this is for ankle. And you can place on hip also, or either above of hip. So these are IMU sensor, total 6 sensors they have used, and it is sending signal to computer or any device which is recording. And the technique is reflexive base in computer vision. When you are placing the camera, that time you are placing the marker. Like you can see that in the night when you are moving or security person is moving, that time their dress used to shining. It is like marker, so that I can easily identify where is the joint. Okay, so there is right hip, right knee, left knee, right ankle, right. So whichever is my interest, I am placing these white dots marker like is light also, which I am placing on human body. And then computer vision techniques, by camera we are capturing this one, and it will read the marker position. So it will give again camera X, camera Y, camera Z, depth X, values, and how it is recording, that also I can show you. After a few minutes, I will show the all videos together. Okay. So the entire things is like this. We can sense data through IMU sensor or kinet sensor. After that, we'll design some mathematical or deep learning models, which will help us to classify or learn this pattern. Final, I'm classifying this data. Deep learning based model is helping for gait diagnosis, human health monitoring, human health stability analysis, human posture stability especially. We will also see that the optimized trajectories, so that energy efficiency was there. All sort of things we'll do. Okay. It can further use for human health monitoring, human performance in improvements, for robot work generation, rehabilitation of disabled person, stability analysis of the human work and robot. All sort of things we can do through these. And these are the pattern which I recording through these input devices. Okay. So later on, we have collaboration in the Hosei University, Tokyo, Japan. So they are working in the collaboration with us, in which they have humanoid robot. So what I'm doing, I'm human being working data, I'm recording ECG, EMG, and motion sensor data. And the deep learning model we are training, by which I'm classifying the motion. And same motion I'm applying on the bipedal robot, which Hosei group is providing us. They have real bipedal robot, where we can apply human being data through our mathematical model. Whatever the trajectory will generate, that we can apply here. Okay, so now let us see, before coming for gate, how I recorded data of human being. Okay. So you can see my screen. The video is visible, I hope. Video you can see. Okay, so what is happening, you can see that this is through kinet sensor. I'm performing particular exercise. Okay, push up, push down. It is recording only my joint angle values. Okay, scale 10 values it is recording through my camera. I'm recording this one. Okay, so like you have human body is total 25 degree of freedom, and degree freedom is term is that how many independent axis is required to move. If you consider our wrist, it has 3 degree of freedom. You can rotate, you can move up and down, you can take left and right. Similarly, knee, elbow has only 1, and shoulder has at least 3 degree of freedom. Total 6 degree of freedom has one human hand, another human hand 6. Then neck joint has 2 degree of freedom. So total it is 14. Then waist having also 1 degree of freedom. You can go forward and backward, then total 15. and rest 10 degrees for each leg, 5 for each leg. Okay, so hip joint has 3 degrees of freedom, knee joint has 1 degree of freedom, ankle has also 1 degree of freedom. So this way you have an entire human body has 25 degrees of freedom. So similarly here I am trying to capture all 25 degrees of freedom. Now you can see that this is a particular posture data. Other data also I can see that exercise you are performing. You can have this sort of data. This is just jogging I was doing, that is recorded through this sensor. Then we have performed another exercise also. So different activity we are performing. This is like fast walk. The person is walking with a very great speed. Fast walking is happening. Okay. So it is just giving you some scale 10 values. You can see also scale 10 joints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 25 joints it will reflect. You can go for normal walk also. This is your normal walk. In this case, you are not moving fast. We have taken different style of walking. This is for jogging, simple exercise we are doing. Then slow walk, you can see that the moment you will walk slow, it will capture the data line. So I'm trying to analyze behavior using kinetic sensor. This is not wearable, but kinetic sensor. And ups and downs, sit up and sit down. So what actually I'm trying to do, I'm trying to capture the data for different activities, and that different activities data I'm trying to analyze to measure the health of human being. Apart from there, we have these data also. Now we can see that group activity data and how we are taking group person, two person are working. You can also see that both we are working. So the camera is placed in front of this one. It is capturing your location. You can see that occlusion of data also, where we can have multiple peoples working together. This is for single one. We have occlusion one also. This is going in reverse direction. So different sort of working we have performed. We have capture the data. Okay. And the kinetic sensor which I am using for this one, it can track 6 joint angle values. It can capture 6 joint angle values. Somewhere I recorded this also. Also, where it is. You can see that how it is recording. So that kinetic sensor is giving this data also. Depth sensor image also it is giving. Depth sensor data. Okay. The person is working, SAM, it is extracting feature from there. So like marker based technique it is using. It is capturing. And the student who is working under me is from Dhaka, Bangladesh. You can see that his actual motion is like this. This is actual motion. He will start walking. He is walking now, coming in front of camera, and camera is giving his walking pattern like this. This way. Okay. You can perform different sort of activities. Then we went for treadmill also. Treadmill, we have to capture data on different speed. You see that. So treadmill, we are keep increasing the speed 3 km per hour, 5 km per hour, 7 km per hour, and the data is capturing here. You can also visualize different subject we are taking for male or female. So you can see also in different speed. This is bit slow. This is bit fast speed, maybe 9 km/h. We have captured up to 12 km/h speed. So similarly, you can go for animal or tiger, you can do. This is 6. That is on 12 km/h. You can also see, because it's just giving the joint angle value. Apart from there, I try to capture also group people data, group behavior, like 2 persons are walking together. So what is happening? Occlusion. One person data is going to suffer with another. So 2 at a time I can run 6 persons together. So the kindness sensor can track 6 person data together. Okay, let us define gate, and then afternoon session from 2:30 I will start on human activity recognition. So far whatever I have captured, and if anyone having any doubt, they can ask doubt also from me. And here my motivation was, by recording the speed, walking speed, I want to detect the human health. Okay, so human health monitoring we are doing for human walking pattern, human speed, and all sort of. So as we know that blood pressure, breathing, body temperature, and the pulse provide important insight about the health complexity of human health. Okay, we can easily record the human particular characteristic by this. We can easily analyze. But researcher has says that walking speed is also important factor. It can predict better health issues like cognitive decline with the age. What is happening? Walking is also the learning process. As human baby used to learn, after some time, as you become the elderly 50-60-year-old, then your walking pattern will also suffer. So it's happening due to cognitive decline of the neurons, killing of neurons, or dying of neurons. It is happening. You can also fall recovery also. Nowadays elderly subjects are in room, so they are supposed to highly susceptible for falling, and maybe it can lead for their health also. They can die also. In this case, if we can have such a device which can record that certain magnitude of force is about to follow, or force is about to come, and the person is not able to sustain, in this case some airbag kind of situation can arise. Okay, even certain cardiac and the pulmonary diseases also you can identify by walking speed. So the intention of this one, we can measure the cognitive diseases, muscular diseases, fall related, musculoskeletal disease, cardiac diseases, pulmonary disease, all sort of things we can record through the gait, human walking. Okay, now what is human gait? Just definition. So it's refer the locomotion with the help of limbs, left or right limbs, coordination of left and right leg. It enable you to walk. Okay, so there is certain force you are applying in the forward direction. Okay, it is bipedal, that means which has 2 limbs. Biphagic, you can divide in the phase wise, because the one walking pattern is almost 3 steps, and we are keep repeating this one. How it is biphagic, that I will also discuss. Because what is happening, 2 major events. One is heel strike, another is toe walk, and there is always coordination of left and right leg. If left leg on the ground, right leg will in the air. If right leg on the ground, left leg will in the air. So there is swing and stance phase is coming alternately. So biphagic, forward propulsion of the center of gravity of human body, in which these are alternately sinus movement of different segment of body with the least energy. So human walk is very energy efficient also. With the minimum energy, we can perform this one. The human gait pattern are also helpful in the identifying the beautiful or very important insight about the movement and posture stabilities. Whether you are going to suffer with this Parkinson disease or any sort of thing. So if you see that this is walking style, the dummy model is there, and the entire walk is divided into broadly in 2 phases. One is swing phase and another is stance phase. swing phase when one foot is in the air, stance phase when one foot is in the air, another foot is in the ground. Okay. So further we have divided into 8 different phases to understand the human walking, and that is one gait cycle, and we used to keep repeating this case. So if you have required parameter for gait cycle, you require step length, ground clearance, gait cycle. Gait cycle is 3-step process: left step, right step, left step. Okay, and you will keep repeating again and again same cycle for gait one. Okay. And the gait velocity is the it is behavior based identification, the way human being used to are. So it's a behavior, it's a learning process. Different people have different style of walking. Okay. So gait velocity is the habitual of walking speed adopted by the person in everyday life. So medical research has shown that the gait velocity is very important for health monitoring. That's why our focus is there. Walking exercise, the nervous, cardiovascular, pulmonary, musculoskeletal, and the hematological system, because it requires more oxygen into contact the muscles. Okay, that time you require more oxygen because you are working with the muscles, involving in the muscles activation. So impairment in one of these system, any of things, whether nerve, cardiovascular, pulmonary, you are suffering with any of this one, your gait velocity will affect. And affecting of gait velocity easily, we can easily identify you are suffering with particular kind of abnormality or problem with these things. Okay, that's why the physician has called gait velocity a better predictor of the various health issues. So here we try to find some research gap, how we can go. Though we have computer vision based techniques and we are going for wearable based techniques. So walking speed detection using sensor proves cost ineffective, okay, and complex to set up. It is difficult to set up to wear. That's why we have to design such a sensor which is cheap as well as not complex. Okay, previous techniques was not that much accurate for this one. So another researching gray area that we can design some techniques by which we can come with a better solution. That is that the features, what are the gait, how you can measure the gait, what is this one, that is also not very much clear to people. And sensor based techniques method are also not portable, unlike mobile phone and they have. So we require very restriction. We have to wear on the human body and different range sensor, power capabilities, all sort of things we have to manage in this one. Okay. This is what IMU sensor I was discussing. It is also available in your mobile phone. So you can have IMU sensor, which is having accelerometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer. So accelerometer will give you acceleration around XYZ. It is giving like linear momentum. Okay. Gyroscope is giving orientation. You see that you play the video game with your mobile phone, you will find these things in your mobile phone. Okay. So as smartphone technology is growing and all smartphone equipped with this sort of sensor, so you can easily use mobile phone also, as I've used in my experiment mobile phone also to capture the human being data. Okay, for walking speed I have captured this one. Then later on we have trained the model. Okay, so some data is available with me which I have captured through this one. I can show the data, which kind of data is giving. This is JavaScript file, you can open in anywhere. So each gesture you are getting this file. How will read this file? Easily you can do in the Python. We have read. So here some things it is giving like body index 3. That means as kinase sensor can track 6 body. So which body I'm considering, it is third number of bodies there. Okay, tracking ID is given. And you have almost 25 joints. All 25 joints are there. Maybe I will show if I have that PPT, I will show. This I will discuss afternoon. But so far I'm just telling you some. These are the things. These are these 25 joints, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm interested for lower extremity, so I'm interested for hip joints, 12, knee left, ankle left, foot left, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm interested for 12 to 19 joints. Left hip, left knee, left ankle, left foot, right. These 6 joints data I'm recording. And entire human body is 25 degree, and it is starting with the spine. 0 is the spine, then spine 1 is here, spine 2 is your neck, then your head, and then shoulder left, elbow left, wrist left, hand left, shoulder right, elbow. So as I'm looking for walking activity, I'm looking only for 12 to 19. Okay, and these are the simple equation which I will discuss later on how you can capture this one. These are the equivalent distance. Okay, so let us see how we are calculating the joint angle. Suppose you have this kind of triangle of human body. Human architecture is like this. Okay, so we have placed this angle. So let us, this is A, this is B, this is C, this angle is A, because I'm interested to find the angle between joints. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Easily you can do. What is this distance? Because these are spatial coordinate, you will get, if it is 2 dimensions, you will get x and y, x1 and y1, and this distance you will get x1 minus x square, y1 minus, if it is z also, you can, also this distance we can calculate A, B, C, and then you apply simply cos C equal to B square C plus A square minus C square from 2BC. From here you can calculate E joints. I'm interested for these 6 joints angle. Okay, so you can consider triangle like this, and this. You can easily get the hip joints. Similarly for right, then you will do for all sort of things. So this way you can calculate the joint angle values also. Human being. The sort of data which I was showing you, this is like this. So body industry, that means as I can track multiple body together, which I shown you how you can track multiple body. Like this. Multiple people are working together, 1 and 2 people. So it is showing the index, which number of person is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 you can get. Tagging you have tracked. This is tracking ID, so nothing there. Okay, the status is showing state is 1. There is 3 states, 0, 1, 2. If you are perfectly able to capture that joint, then it will return 2. If you have just infer not perfectly, then it is 1. And if you are unable to do, then it is 0. So in case of multiple people are working, many times you will get 0 value also, like joint. Now each joints it will tell. You just see this value. It is giving depth X, depth Y, color X, color Y, camera X, camera Y, camera Z, orientation X, Y, and Z. And then it is telling joint type 0. Joint type 0 is for spine. And then tracking status 2, that went perfectly. Then second joint. For each joint you will get depth, camera, this one, orientation, and this one tracking status 2, joint type 2. It is telling. Okay, next joint. So in this way you will get 25 joints at a one time. And if you have performed this for 100 sample 1 second, so you will get 100 value for each 25 joints. So what are my feature? Camera X, camera Y, camera Z, orientation X, Y, Z. Okay, those in accelerometer, what I am getting? AX, AYZ, which I will discuss in second session. That time I will discuss about this one when I will discuss human activity recognition. Okay, so far you focus on only this one, and these are the some standard joint rigidity also human walking, by which you can see that this is healthier and healthy. So as hip joints, this is one gait cycle data. This is one gait cycle data. This is another gait cycle. Walking step. One gait cycle is complete. So we are getting sinusoidal kind of pattern. In case of this is for hip joints. For knee joint, you are getting big hump or small hump. Ankle joint, you are getting this one, small hump, big hump. This is multiple cycle you are repeating again and again. Okay, so if you have considered 10-minute data, so maybe you have performed 15 times SAM walking pattern. Okay, so that's why this walking pattern is important. That I will discuss. I will come on later on this portion of discussion. So meanwhile, you can refer my paper also for work, which I am going to show you. Some papers are there by which you can do, like toward developing a computational model for bipedal post recovery model. I'm sharing this paper with you so that you can read this paper for further how you can implement the things. Chat box I'm saying. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you can ask. This is another for human walking trajectory using hybrid walking bliss. This is IEEE sensor paper. And there is IEEE Tyson also, design of vector field for different some pages. Okay, here you can see that it is related to walking. Okay, so you can refer for further study purpose, you can read. Okay, second time afternoon I will discuss about human activity recognition. That I will discuss. Okay, if any question, I think that that is enough from my end for right now. After this, I will start next session at 2:30. So if you have any question, you can ask the question from me. I will be happy to answer the question, if any question. Either you can write in chat box also.
Okay.
Further reading. Yeah.
To ask the questions from the participants.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any questions, please you can ask questions to Vijay sir. In chat box also there is no question.
Yes, sir. No question.
So any participant want to ask the question?
Afternoon, I will discuss about little bit human activity recognition, some coding also, how we can implement using deep learning. And then I will give the concept of TinyMR, which is especially designed for the TensorFlow Lite, for only for small device like I have this device, Arduino Nano VLE, in which I have fused that data. I will show how you can record human activity recognition using this one. So,
okay. Okay, sir. In that case,
sir.
close the session here. And, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you for your nice presentation. So we will close the session 2 of day 3 today here, and we will break here for a lunch 1 hour. So
yes.
We'll resume again at 2:30.